Peter, welcome to Pathway Group Offices.
Thank you.
We've
My
just
pleasure.
had a fantastic event at Coffee and Natter in Birmingham. We've been doing those now for a couple of years now, and we've had a fantastic response. How was it for you?
Oh, it was great fun, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah?
It was great group of people, great audience, lovely mixture,
Yeah.
very kind, and we had a good time.
Yeah. Just tell us a little bit about the conversation and the topic of your talk today.
Well, I was talking about one of my books, which is When Death Came Third, which
Yeah.
is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year.
Wow.
I became a best-selling author together with my co-author Andy Laparta 10 years ago this year, April 5th, 2006.
Wow.
And Death Came Third is all about speaking in public and networking. That's what it's all about. The book was called And Death Came Third because of a 1984 New York Times survey over top 10 fears.
Yeah.
Snakes come seventh, spiders come sixth, death comes third. Third.
Yeah.
So we'd rather walk into a room full of spiders and snakes and die than actually speak in public or network with people. So I mean that was the title that we used, and it's been very, very good for us. So and I was talking a little bit about networking, a little bit about about speaking, and perhaps a bit about my speaking career.
Yeah. You're known as the family businessman.
I am.
Yeah. Just tell us a little bit about where that title came from and what the thoughts behind that.
Okay, well, I've got 3 businesses around. Well, I've actually had 6 family businesses of my own in the last 20 years, 3 stunning successes, 3 fantastic failures.
Yeah.
And of course, I've learned far more from failure than the success.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like to do very well. I also know what it's like to lose a lot, which is what I did 10 years ago, which is very well documented.
Yeah.
I've spent 20 years providing business development services for family businesses.
Yeah.
I had 20 years of business development in corporate, so I'm 60 this year, 40 years worth of less hair, what's left is grey, and that I share that with all sorts of family businesses because family businesses are different, we work differently, we think, act and do differently. We don't work like corporates or governing bodies or what have you, we work in a very different way. And I have 3 basic tenets to how that works.
Right.
Predominantly family businesses start, it doesn't matter whether they're this big or this big or anything in between. Some of the largest companies in the world are family businesses, as you know. But they all start from the same principle, which is to fill the fridge.
Yeah. Okay.
I
think probably one of the biggest companies, Walmart. I think they're a family business.
JLR,
there's all of these Tata Group,
Porsche,
they're all family businesses.
Absolutely, because quite often people say to me, "Oh, that means you're dealing with small
organisations."
And I'll say, "Well, yes, I do, but I also deal with very large organisations." But the family business ethic is very, very different. And it needs people who understand it and appreciate it. So
is there more emotion? I mean, is there more emotion involved?
Because if you start a business where you're to put food on the table, and then you get the family involved in it, it's a very different way of thinking. So my 3 keys to family business are: it's all about filling the fridge. That's where it comes from. Yeah. It's all about doing things that make you sleep at night. Yeah. Or not, as the case may be. Yeah. Every family business owner will tell you about the things that stop them sleeping.
Yeah, sleepless nights,
Yeah, and they work with people that they know, like and trust. So that the connection with family businesses and suppliers is much stronger. It's far less likely that a family business will let a supplier go because they get to know each other very well and they trust those people. So it takes longer. So I help quite a lot of businesses to learn how to sell to family businesses because whatever you do, don't sell to a family business. It works differently.
Peter, while you're talking, I mean, Gordon Ramsay has this show that he does about restaurants, and whenever I see it, it's always a family restaurant. But when you talk about know, like, and trust, they sort of really at it at all times. There are a lot of fights and so forth, and that thought just came across my mind.
Well, it makes good television. I mean, my reality is, I think, is that most family businesses work exceptionally hard. Are close with each other. They're close with the supplier base. They're close with their clients, and it is 24/7, 365. It's a different.
It'll be interesting to know. I mean, there's a lot of stats out there in terms of how many businesses fail, and there's certain stats in terms of they don't last for the first year, and then if you do the second year and third year, it'll be interesting to know whether the stats on family businesses, whether there's any greater success or not. I mean, that would be an interesting topic.
You are now on one of my hobby horses, which is that if you talk to the various governing bodies and organisations, I will always say, great. So so tell me how many of the organisations you serve are family businesses. Yeah. And they look at me and go, I can tell you how many SMEs we've got.
They don't capture that information, do they?
They don't capture it. They're not interested in it. Yeah. Yet if you look at the Institute of Family Business, the latest set of their figures is 71% of businesses in the UK are family businesses. Well, now that's based on their perception of family business. Mine is actually wider, I believe. Yeah. I believe at least 80% of business in the UK are family business. If you look at America, it's similar. In Germany, it's even higher. Yeah. Family businesses make the world go around. The tax take for our Chancellor is something in the order of 25 to 30% that's coming from family businesses. Yeah. So we are a very significant player, but we have a very quiet voice in many ways. Yeah. I started the thing called the family business practice, where we get family business together on a regular basis, combination of business development, networking, and sort of creating coaching, relationships and stuff. Yeah. Exactly for that reason, because we work differently. We just think in a different way, and it's fascinating to see those bodies how they just don't get it. Yeah. And so quite often they ask me to come in and help. Yeah. But
Peter, we started our conversation. You talked about public speaking, and you're a public speaker extraordinaire. I mean, just told us a little bit about obviously your involvement with the PSA and all the sort of the whole public speaking arena that you've been involved with.
Well, I've been involved since about 2000 with the Professional Speaking Association. Yeah. It is the place to go if you want to speak as a professional. Yeah. I'm biased.
You had a role at the.
I still have.
You still have. Okay.
Yeah, well, on a regional level, Midlands, right. I was regional president 2003-2006. Yeah. I became national president 2009-10. I've been on the board for 8 years, on the national board. That is. Funny enough, I've just relinquished that this year. 2 weeks ago. Yeah. But I still chair the PSA Foundation, which does good things for people. Yeah. And the PSA is a brilliant way. If you're interested in speaking and taking it into a career, then the PSA is the only place to go. Yeah. And that's because you meet an awful lot of people who do what it is you want to do, so you can learn from them. But you make a hell of a lot of great friends around the world. So it's
talking about public. Sorry, Peter. Talking about public speaking. I mean, yes, there's the sort of people who look at it as a professional. Yeah. That's their industry. That's what they do. But would you encourage any business owner to look at maybe developing their public speaking skills or their speaking skills?
I mean, what we've just done with the people this afternoon is that, as far as I'm concerned, standing up and speaking about your business is the best way of getting an advert across to a whole group of people. So if you've got the chance to talk in front of 50 people, how long would it take you to do that ordinarily in business? Yes. So it pays you very well to do two things. One is to have the courage, which is what I mentioned today, have the courage to do it, and secondly, have the commitment to get good at it. Because once you get past that first initial bit of, oh my God, what am I going to do? Then you need to get good at it, because there's a major difference. Because you are representing your business, and so therefore, what a great way of doing it. So I advise anybody, take courage, stand up and speak, accept the fact you are where you are in ability, and then get better at it.
Is there some baby steps that somebody can do if this is new to them? For example, you go to a networking event and they ask you to do a sort of an elevator pitch or something. Is that an entry route? I mean,
I would say that simple entry route is a business networking. You'll go to a typical networking event. I just get used to talking about your business. There are enough different networking organisations, if they're 4M, BNI, all of them. If you get the chance to, just do something. That's the baby step. Then do it as often as you can until you get comfortable, but don't get what I call speakeritis, which is suddenly think, hey, I'm really good at this. Because, there's a major difference between doing that and then becoming where you're speaking for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, a different discipline. And then the thing to do is to find places to go practice it. And, I've said all sorts of places you can go to. And, some people, will talk to me and say, oh, well, if I become a professional speaker, I'll make lots of money as a speaker. My experience is very few people make lots of money as speakers. What they do is they make money from what they do.
From the other activities, whether that's coaching or whatever.
Because they hear, somebody got paid £4,000 for a speech. Well, if you got it, good luck to you. But it's rare. It's different. If you get into the speaking profession where, you're up against gold medalists and all the rest, the reality is they are more attractive most times.
The names aren't there, so brand names.
It's not an easy thing.
Yeah, it's not easy to get.
It's not easy. It's not impossible. It's not impossible, and you can do it.
So it's doable, but it's
doable. But understand, you need to work hard.
Yeah.
You really do need to work hard at it.
Okay.
But for most people in business, that's probably not what they want to do. What they want to do is promote what they do so that people become clients. So get good at doing that in a way that enables you then to talk about your business. So hopefully when I talk about what I do as a family businessman, I can talk to people afterwards and see whether I can serve their family business or serve businesses that help family businesses. I can help them understand how family businesses work. So that's my positioning process, if you like. As opposed to if somebody said, Peter, I want you to just keynote speak and I want you to deliver something, which I can and still do, but I do a lot less of that than I used to do because I want to serve my family businesses. Okay. So you have to have you have to have clarity and laser beam focus on what you're trying to achieve.
Okay. Peter, obviously you're an established author, you've written a few books. I mean, obviously, you spoke about the book today as well. Yeah. Just to sort of finish off, I mean, is there any books that you're reading currently? Any books that you can recommend? Just let's have a little bit of a conversation.
I'm always reading books. Yeah. Funny enough, we're moving offices a bit at the minute. We're moving things around as you do. Yeah. And of course, we've got a bookcase full of books. Yeah. And so we were there, and we said, right, I'm going to read some favourites again. So the one I'm reading at the moment is.
So you do reread books?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, especially the best ones I'll read several times. Yeah. Any Og Mandino book, I'll just pick it up and read it.
Some favourites.
I think the one I've just picked up, started reading last night before I fell asleep. I'm getting older. I fell asleep. Is The Go-Giver by Bob Berg. I was looking to interview Bob for a magazine that we run. That was about 12, 18 months ago, and I give that book to my clients. Yeah. It's a parable-based book. It's lovely to read. It's very light, but it's got a fantastic message to it. And Bob wrote a sequel to it as well, which is worth reading. So right now I'm reading Bob Berg's book, The Go-Giver. I will probably read 7 Habits again, whichever one, again very soon. A pal of mine's book as well, which is all about influence. Derek Arden's book. I've just read that again. Are
you sort of a Kindle, or is it electronic, or are you sort of actually physically? What's your?
If I'm travelling, Kindle. Yeah. If not,
audio.
Yes, but it depends on the voice as much as anything. Yeah. Obviously, I've done our own audio books, which I enjoy. I still like to hold a book. Yeah. Even now, I still like to hold a book. When I was a kid. I used to go to the library 3 or 4 miles from here, and I used to read 4 or 5 books a month, and I still got something about reading it. When I have my own, I find it really strange. But I love opening other people's books and reading. But if I'm travelling,
then it's easier for you.
It'll on the iPad or a Kindle. Okay, but fantastic. I think books will always be around.
If somebody wanted to find you on social media, what's the best place? I mean,
I'll just find the website familybusinessman.com. If you type in Peter Roper, Family Businessman,
I've had a look at the site. It's a fantastic site.
There's loads of free resources on there. That will find me, and then you'll follow all the.
And then you can follow from all the YouTube accounts and everything else.
There's loads always going on. There's always video, as you said, videos going out, weekly e-zines going out. We're about to do a load more stuff, which we're going to launch, I suspect, December, January. So we firmly believe in giving lots away as much as we can.
Yeah, I just love some of the videos that you're in terms of natural conversation and all the rest of it. The way you sort of do all your hand gestures and all the rest of it is fabulous.
Well, as I was saying, thank you. I was saying early on, the thing to do is just to be yourself. Yeah. That's the trick. They're not trying to be something like. I can't do what other people do. I can do me.
You can only do yourself.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
Peter, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate all your support. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.